welcome back to another exciting episode, well we hope it's exciting, of Covered Credits. Today we are going to be doing season previews for the new CW superhero shows, which we both love. Flash, Arrow, is Legends of Tomorrow going to be this season?
I don't think so.
Maybe summer.
Yeah, probably. Could be spring. They have something starting spring sometimes.
And other CUE stuff. It's things I actually like to discuss about this. I just thought of. So let's get to it.
We'll start with Arrow.
Arrow.
Okay. Trailers are out. You can look at trailers. There's been a bunch of things going on that are showing what's going on in Star City now. Is that what it's called? I think they changed it to Star City.
I think they did.
In one of the trailers, it shows Star City in memory of the Adams character. What's his name in the show? I can't think of it. Palmer. Palmer supposedly has died. That's what they have listed. It was in memory of him. Remember that movie game last time?
No.
They definitely referenced that in the trailer. It said,
Did he die?
I'm trying.
He didn't die.
I thought he did.
Pretty sure he's not dead.
Pretty sure we need to turn this off and watch the trailer. That might not be a bad idea.
And we'll be right back.
And we're back! After reviewing a few things, we will continue. So yes, for some reason they have it listed as in memorial to Palmer. They changed the name from Starling City to Star City. Okay. We also know Oliver and Felicity have left to kind of start their relationship in a different city.
She's dead.
Who's dead?
Felicity.
I don't think so, but we'll continue.
She's definitely dead.
Not the beginning. She's not. We're talking about what we saw in the trailer. So they're leading into that. As that's going on, we also seeing that Diggle and the Canary and Speedy are all still
Crime fighting.
doing the Arrow, Team Arrow stuff in Star City. And I don't know how anybody thought giving Diggle that helmet was a good idea. Yes, put him in a suit. I agree. I wanted him in a suit too.
He looks like Black Magneto.
He does. He looks like Black Magneto, and it just doesn't look right. Like, people were saying maybe this will lead in some of the character of the Guardian. Maybe. But I don't know. The helmet just throws me off so
flipping
much.
cars with magnetic powers.
I guess so. The helmet just throws me off so much. It bothers me. And I agree. Everybody's like, give Diggle a suit. It doesn't make any sense. I agree. I'm 100% for that. But why that?
My suit's so tight.
Why that helmet? I love how half these people aren't going to get that reference.
You should.
Yeah. Okay. Then we'll get to the whole
YouTube, I'm the Juggernaut.
yes. Then they go into the whole. Please come back to Star City, start helping us so Oliver and Felicity go back. Now, we also meet Damien Dark. Now, Damien Dark, after some research, because I didn't necessarily know who he was either, is the leader of Hive. Now, Hive, I don't know if that'll come into play. That could be, as a whole other syndicate. He was also a friend of Ra's al Ghul, part of the League of Assassins, and at one time, the heir to the demon. So the fact that Oliver killed Ra's in the last season could be a partial reason that Damien shows up.
They've hinted at him a couple of times before.
They also talk about the fact
I think even back to season 1.
he's part of an organization. So my wonder is he going to be taking over some side of the League, even though Malcolm is now Ra's? Or is it Hive he's talking about? Either way, we don't know. We're just talking about that. Second thing, in the trailer, you see him stop an arrow. Does that mean they gave him powers? Because he doesn't have powers.
Looks like he has freaking powers.
He looks like he's going to be a metahuman of some sort that can either, I don't know, can like...
Maybe he needs a Black Magneto helmet.
Maybe he does need the... but you also see him, like, touch one of the guy's chests, and I'm really hoping there's a little Indiana Jones moment of a little... Never mind. But you see a lot of Felicity firing guns. Is that why you think she's dead?
No.
Oh, you just don't think she'll
What's
last the
the other
season?
reason for that?
You don't think she'll last the season?
No. I think she will probably die in the season finale.
You also see them bring back Sarah Lance.
Resurrected.
The Lazarus Pit again. You also see that Speedy is not the same.
Not quite right.
That's what happens
In
when you go in the
Eel Nugget.
Lazarus Pit. Things start to warp your mind.
Being dead will do that to you, I've heard.
There is a huge hint that in some of the marketing they did, and if you watch the premiere, which I hope you do, there will be a billboard you will see. The billboard will say, and I'm hoping I get this right, in brightest day, in darkest night, come to Coast City when money is tight, and it's a Coast City billboard. We're assuming that's where Oliver and Felicity went to live. However, that's a huge reference to a possible character that if they bring him in will be much bigger than the crossover from Flash and Arrow to me. That's a good crossover. The shows are both good. I like Grant Gustin. It's an awesome thing. If they bring him in, and I don't know if we want to say who it is, hopefully you know who it is.
If you don't, then
Type in half of that
fail
phrase.
that nerd.
Type in, yeah, exactly. Type in half of the phrase and you'll understand. Do you want to see him? Do you want to see him in Arrow?
I'd rather see him in his own show.
Well, I agree, but I don't think that's on the docket.
I don't think that's on the docket.
Granted, they have said, in theory, they could end up with a TV Justice League of their own. Not the show, but the collective on TV. Supergirl's getting her own show. It is tied in. It's not a CW show. It's a CBS show. But it is going to say that there is going to be some kind of a...
Is it the same universe?
It's going to be some kind of a nod to the same universe. I don't think it's direct. I don't think they're going to be crossovers. I don't think it's going to be direct. But there is
It's
supposedly...
interesting.
Yes, it is. And from
I
what I've
didn't know
heard,
that.
it doesn't look that good. But it's
I've
all-
heard it's awful.
Yeah. However, continue with Arrow. What are you looking forward to it? Not looking forward to it?
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Arrow is definitely my favorite show on TV right now.
Flash to me is right there. It's right there.
I don't like Flash so much.
Oh,
I
see,
like Flash, but I don't like it as much.
Also, we see a lot more of Amanda Waller. I'm wondering where he'll be this year. I don't think it's Hong Kong. They talked to Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell is a huge person on Facebook. He does a lot on Facebook. Does a lot of live streams, answers a lot of questions. Somebody asked him to do the whole 2 truths and a lie thing the other day. So he said a couple things, and I remember one of them was the flashbacks take place in Russia. So that could be the lie, but then again, that would make sense because he's not going to be in Hong Kong still.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be that's where he's at for part of that time, which would be interesting. I don't remember the other 2 things, but one of them was he'll break his no-kill rule, and then there was the other. I don't remember what the third one was, but who knows? I'm looking forward to it. I like the new suit. We'll kind of see where it goes. Yeah, I know you're looking forward to it. Watch Arrow. Comes out next. It comes out when you see.
Couple of things before we go on. 1. Arrow is now on season 4.
Yes.
How many seasons do you see it going?
7.
7 would be my guess as well.
They're gonna keep.
But
They're
I
gonna
wonder
keep
where to
chugging.
buy it.
They're gonna keep chugging.
Because Arrow is definitely making CW right now.
Here's my only question. There are always contradicting stories about whether or not there's a chance Stephen Amell will get into one of the movies.
I thought we were going with Big No, as far as I'd ever heard.
Recently I've heard that it may be inevitable before Green Arrow gets into a movie. Granted, we don't know if it'll be Stephen Amell, but I'm saying the truth. I didn't like the fact that they're not using Grant Gustin as Flash. I've seen nothing of Ezra Miller. I don't really know the kid much, and he is young, but I like Grant Gustin a lot as Barry Allen. I don't think I would, and I'll say this because it's casting is such a banging your head against the wall because anybody could be good at anything, we don't know. I definitely would like to see Stephen Amell playing Oliver Queen if there's going to be an Oliver Queen in a Justice League movie, I would like it to be him.
arguing behind that.
Yeah.
That brings up all sorts of problems, but
Why? Why is that?
Because if you bring in an actor who is playing another show with the same character, then you validate the connection between the two.
Well,
that can cause story problems.
They do, but if they make some kind of a case to where they're saying he's playing the same character, but it's not the same universe, or do what Barry's about to do in Flash and make it a different universe. The multiverse is real. This is DC. This is DC. The multiverse is real, and it's gonna be in your face in Flash.
Which is why I'm gonna hate this.
It's not time travel. That's not the same thing. This
It's
is
the same thing.
multiple universes.
Space is time. Fucking listen to Einstein.
But it's not.
Space and time are the same thing. That's basic physics. Well, not really basic physics, but it's the
I
same
understand what you're saying, but I'm telling you, in comic books, the multiverse is not the same thing as what you're saying.
I'm just saying, man. It's the same thing. Okay.
However, that's what I'm thinking. I would love to see him in a movie as I'm about to say that Stephen Amell.
I still think Felicity's gonna die in season 4.
Why do you think that? I'm just wondering.
Because it's time for Oliver to get a new woman. That storyline's played itself out.
People will be up in arms if
I
they
love
they
this.
kill-
I love Felicity as
Yeah.
a character. She is super funny and super hot. However, you have Playboy main character. He needs to go through women a lot. That's just comic books
But
in
I mean,
general.
he kind
So
of.
in order to get rid of
stop.
Felicity, you have to either have them break up for some reason, or you have to kill her.
Here's
I
the
think she's
problem.
dead.
Here's the problem. It took 4 seasons for them to get together.
Yeah, it's time to. It's
Because
time
he
to
went through a bunch of other women.
Yeah, it needs to get back to it.
I think this might be the only season that we don't have a huge relationship plot. That they are together for this. Now Palmer's not there to be the other guy.
You need relationship drama.
I mean, I think the relationship drama this time is going to be within Team Arrow. And what I mean by that is, are they all together? Are they not?
We already did that last
At one
season.
point in the trailer, you see Canary blow up a truck that Diggle's standing in the back of. Like, he's standing in the back of that semi, and she blows up the back half of the semi. Like, something's not on the same page there.
Maybe he deserved it. I don't know.
But either way, we're going to move on to Flash. Okay?
Alright.
A lot of things happen at the end of Flash.
A lot of things.
Eddie died,
Done.
which killed the Reverse Flash.
Which kills the Reverse Flash.
Now,
He no longer exists in
how
time.
in this universe, I would not doubt eventually the Reverse Flash will come back into play somehow. However,
Should have used Balefire.
do you think
Which
Tom?
is a super nerd reference.
Yes, it is. Do you think Tom Cavanaugh will still be on this show?
No.
He is.
What?
Think about this. Once Eddie dies, it changes the entire timeline to where the Reverse Flash never came and killed Dr. Wells in the first place.
No.
So not only will
This is
he
why I
still
hate time
be
travel
there,
plots.
not only will he still be there, but he may not be in the wheelchair either. That's what the thought is. We don't know for sure. He's still in the show though. However, we see a helmet at one point in time. Do you know what the reference is for that? The Hermes helmet?
Actually, if you watch the Vixen trailer, he is on there.
Oh,
It
no,
does
no, no.
say-
He's in the show. That guy is in the show. I'm saying, in one part of the trailer and in some of the imagery you've seen, you see the helmet.
Uh-huh.
The helmet alone,
Oh.
it's a big deal.
Mhm.
Because that shows who that is. Do you know who that is?
Yeah. It's the other Flash.
I know. They're saying there's a possibility that not only will Barry Allen be there, but there's the possibility of 2 other ones.
2 other ones.
It's all a possibility. Oh, they push the helmet of Jay Garrick's Flash.
Mhm.
Now, the timeline of Flashes would show the original Flash would be more modern time, obviously. Garrick's time period would kind of be behind. Different universe, but that's why he's in like a different style. That's why the helmet's different. if you've seen a lot of Flash or much of Flash comics, you've seen there are different styles of Flashes. There's a lot of different Flashes. Wally West, Jay Garrick, Barry Allen. I mean, there's a lot. So, because of that, them bringing him in after he did the whole time travel thing last season doesn't surprise me. Because
well, the Flash has always been a fairly time travel-y type universe.
Yep, that's why eventually in the comics they went to the Time Force, which is a group of them that travel through time to do different things that need to be done because they can run fast enough to go through time. But plot he brings up that when he went through time, he opened a wormhole that could destroy everything. Okay.
It also introduces the big bad guy.
Yes.
New trailer does. But I don't remember what his name was. I want to say it was Doc or something.
Professor Zoom. Yes, and casting. Right now, Zoom is a voice. Everything's going to be digital. I don't think they've casted a physical person for Zoom. Because when you see him, it's suit, lightning, like dark black face. You don't see a face. Like it's weird. There's going to be, I guess, an interesting development with some kind of a lightning ability for Barry. Something happens with that early in the season. One of the interviews with him said.
He accidentally blows things up with lightning powers.
That's something. I'm not sure what. Because it's a weird kinetic energy thing with him, where he can use lightning at times. I'm not sure. What else though?
Speed Force.
The fact that we saw hints at Killer Frost in the last season, we'll wonder if maybe that's something that might come into play. Could be. And the fact that Cisco saw that there's some kind of a possible power ability that he has. They hinted at some things. Cisco becomes a character eventually in the comics. And so they're hoping, and again, anytime you hear them interview one of the characters, they're like, listen, we hope this happens, but we don't know. So, I would like to see Vibe become a character. That's who Cisco is. I wouldn't mind seeing Caitlin go to Killer Frost. Let her kind of do that. That's got to be interesting. I mean, I like both of them. But if she becomes a villain, who knows what will happen.
I always liked her as the main love interest for Barry. I was very disappointed.
Really? I mean, I don't mind Iris. But whatever. And then that'll be something else. What will happen with Iris now that she knows everything and what will go on with that?
I imagine there'll be a lot of relationship drama this season.
There was
which I'm a big relationship drama fan.
The Asian reporter, Lisa. She was one of the other love interests last season for a little while, and then kind of dipped out and dipped back in. But either way, probably will come back into play sometime. With Eddie gone, it is kind of the first chance that Iris and Barry can
much relationship drama.
So we'll see what happens there. But I'm looking forward to it. It looks like it's going to be a good season. I know you said you were looking for the Arrow more than Flash, but
it's going to be time travel bullshit, and I hate time travel bullshit.
I'm just looking forward to the fact that they're bringing a multiple universes thing with this because I like seeing the other Flashes. My 1 to 2 is if they've done all this, will Barry's father be out of jail? Because Reverse Flash did not go back in time and kill his mother. Will his mother be alive?
See, this is why I hate time travel.
See, but eventually I'm going to just say there's got to be other reasons than just this because you saying I hate time travel anytime doesn't help the conversation.
It definitely does, in my book.
It does not. I'm just saying, I think one thing, I'm going to enjoy the fact.
Way too many blocks.
I'm going to enjoy the fact if not only is Tom Cavanaugh a good guy, because I liked Harrison Wells before he got all I'm going to kill you kind of thing. And if his dad is out of jail, I'm all for that too. I like that. I like his character a lot. I like him a lot.
But is he going to be this? He's not the same character anymore. Is his personality going to completely change?
Well, who? Either one? It's a possibility. I mean, it could be.
See, that's a problem with time travel. There's too many unknowns, and you just get to do whatever you want and say it's time travel.
It's comic books. They get to do whatever they want anyway.
True.
So, Thus, they created a new character.
Speaking of doing whatever you want in comic books, CW has...
With DC. It's not just CW. With DC, they did this.
DC is making money off of Flash and Arrow because it's a good show, and DC needs some help. They're not doing so hot.
Not so... Well, comics in general aren't selling. People don't buy comics. They should, but they don't. To where any kind of a digital expansion, they're interested in because that's what's selling. TV, movies, obviously, you name it. That's what's going well. So continue.
Yeah, Marvel's pretty much winning the silver screen.
We'll see next year.
DC's definitely winning the not silver.
Next year is when it hits with the movies. DC
Anyway,
comes out,
new characters. Although super short episodes, like 3 to 4 minutes each.
how often are they coming out? Like,
Once a week.
Once a week.
New show Vixen.
Say that again.
New show Vixen.
The character name Vixen. I don't know much about her. You're going to be on the upper hand on this one than I am. I know a little bit
You didn't
about
watch
her.
all the episodes.
I haven't watched any of the
Prepare.
episodes.
They're only 3 minutes long each.
I know. I just haven't had the chance to do it.
Anyway,
CWC.
they released a new character.
Talk about where you're going to see this too.
CW Seed is CW's, the shows that don't quite make the cut for TV, but they slap them up on the web.
Well, that's making a 3-minute episode. They're not necessarily. It's their digital space.
I really like what I see though out of the show.
I know. I just mean.
would love a full animated like thing.
Listen, from what I've read, it may be only a matter of time before she ends up on one of the shows. First episode, they have Grant Gustin and Stephen Amell voicing their characters in the show, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they're showing that they are. So there's a chance that this character could be on either show.
But it's a cool character all around. As I said, created by DC and CW,
Yep.
joint project, and
Is it CWC.com?
Well, you can
Website.
just go to CWTV.com
And then
click on
the
CW
seed.
Seed. There's a big button.
And that's where these episodes are.
Anyway, there's 6 of them out currently. They are, as I said, very short, like 4 or 5 minutes each.
I think it's an episode a week up until the premieres of the new seasons is what I think is what's going on.
Yep. Main character has crazy magical powers.
Based on a necklace?
Based on the necklace, she can transform herself not into animals, but she gains their properties by imagining them.
A little bit of an African influence.
A lot, you learn later.
A lot of an African influence.
She has a necklace given to her by the god Anansi, which, if you know anything about African folklore, which most people don't, because it's not really one of the popular ones they can learn.
Anansi is familiar to me, the word, and then not because of the Anansi. Oh, it is because of the Anansi boys, but isn't
Anansi boys?
What was Anansi?
Anansi is one African religion. There's about a bajillion of them since they're fairly isolated. But he was the spider god
I thought it was spider.
of stories and tricks and sorts of things. In his mythos, he's always doing unfortunate things like sleeping with people's wives
Possibly
and being a jerk to everyone around
A
him. because
mirror of a Loki, mischievous.
Yes,
kind of,
but Anansi is more good-natured than Loki.
Okay.
Loki's always sort of chaotic evil.
he
using
is
D&D
the
alignment
definition.
reference.
He is the definition of chaotic.
Where Anansi would be more neutral, chaotic. He does whatever he wants. He's not really a bad guy, not really a
You're
good
you're
guy.
getting deep in the nerd cred right now.
I really am.
And then, what did you say? You said something about who the father was?
Yeah, I was trying to. I
I'm
can't
not sure
pin
who
down
the
his
actor
voice.
is.
It's very familiar, and I cannot
That'd be
think
funny
of
if it
it.
was
But anyway,
someone
the
in the
show overall, as I said, it's very short, so it's tough to get a lot in each episode. The first 6 episodes sort of wrap the first story arc, which would be about one real episode, if it was in a more natural, I guess, setting. But like I said, overall, the acting isn't top-notch, but it's difficult to get super great acting in an animated thing. But like I said, I like the character and the setting quite a bit.
What
Which
city
takes place
is
in
she
Detroit.
in? Detroit, there we go.
Which it actually makes reference to at one point. And Cisco says, Flash He's like, where's she at? And he goes, well, it's not really Coast City or Central City or Star City. She's in Detroit, actually.
Funny to me that they went with that and didn't like
Mega City.
Yeah.
But they picked Detroit. And like I said, I like the characters, I like the storyline, I like her powers.
Do you want to see it cross over?
I would, but only because I like the characters. And she's a cool character.
Now, we didn't mention earlier, Constantine is going to be an Arrow. Would you rather see Vixen in Flash or Arrow?
Vixen would definitely fit better in Arrow, based on what I've seen.
Even though most of the metahumans and characters are in Flash.
Yeah, but she's a darker, grittier vibe
Okay.
to her. She's sort of a troublemaker, and I think she would fit better in Arrow, since Flash has a more goody feel to it. Although it would be interesting to get some duality in there.
Well, that was kind of what we were hoping to get accomplished for today. Get the preview for both seasons. Bring up Vixen. Go watch Vixen.
It's really it won't take you long. They're short.
Watch the other two. Watch Flash and Arrow. They're not hard to pick up if you miss an episode here or there. They post them on their website usually. Maybe not right after they go on, but they put them on there.
Next day usually.
Yeah, it depends, but yeah. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays, one night's Flash, one night's Arrow. If you get the opportunity to watch, let us know what you think. I mean, yeah, these are seasons in where if you haven't watched before, it's new. But these also are superhero shows. Every season.
We need more superheroes.
Every season is contained. We're getting more. We're getting Jessica Jones soon. We're getting.
Can't wait to.
Jessica Jones is
Netflix. The rest of Daredevil.
Getting
Supergirl.
The Legends of Tomorrow is what I was saying.
Legends of Tomorrow.
So sometime we'll have to do a video about that, talk about those. So yeah, if anything you guys want us to watch on TV, let us know. We kind of watch a little bit of everything. I watch more TV than I think Kevin does, but by all means, let us know. And until next time.
Thanks for staying until after the credits.